Hello, oddlings from around the internet. This is the commonly Oddcast. I am your host, Oddling Panda.
And co-host Oddling Frosty.
This month, the month of February, in the year of our demonic lord, dumb shit has happened, but I'd like to go ahead and start off with good news.
Well, it is the month of love, so...
Anyway, no one loves anyone. It's the internet. We all just love to talk shit. But anyway, it's good news time. I'm famous now. I've officially gotten 10 likes on a comment on Twitter. It's okay. I know. Hold your applause till the end of the show, everybody. You can bathe me in your compliments down in the comment section.
We got 8 views on our first video.
That was a month and a half ago.
So technically that's 18 altogether.
Ooh.
So you've got 18 altogether.
Well, I have to share those 8 with you. The 10.
Okay, so you got 14. You got 14.
Those are mine.
You kind of earned it.
But, no, man, I guess for a brief overview of the topics I'd like to talk about today, we're going to talk about good old Jussie Smolett and his media firestorm.
I love that dude's last name.
And the recent dust-up with YouTube. God bless this dust-up with YouTube has just gotten out of hand much quicker than other things I've seen fucking throw out. But what about you, Frosty? What are you feeling about talking about for the month?
Well, I've got an analogy that most people won't get, and I'm used to that. I'm going to talk about something really cold and something electric. It's going to be extremely vague. Both of them deal with loss.
I don't want to know about the batteries you put in your ice tray, man. Like, that's just a weird fucking thing to talk. This is a professional podcast that we barely string together month to month. I'll have you know that we're not going to be talking about no fucking freezer batteries.
Come on, man. We got to stay chilled.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. We go barely.
So I guess good old Jussie Smolett, if you've lived under a rock or are woefully and willingly ignorant of what's going on in current culture, let's go ahead and talk about this guy. He's an actor on the show Empire. He is a homosexual. And, he faked a hate crime and wasted taxpayer money with the FBI doing an investigation looking for MAGA hat-wearing Trump supporters roaming around Chicago at 2 o'clock in the morning in a blizzard.
Well, I need to correct you on one thing. If you can say the guy's name, you gotta say it right, dude. It's Jussie.
As far as I'm concerned, his name is Jackass.
Jackass isn't spelled with an S. Wait. Fuck.
Aside from Frosty's fucking idiocy, I actually came into contact with this story with his Today interview, where he does the whole comment of, if I say this is the truth, then that's what it is. It's the truth. And from the minute I heard that, I don't know, man. I'd like to go ahead and try and convince all 3 people that are listening to this that I knew from the get-go that he was lying through his teeth. But at worst, you're telling me that this dude got beat up by 2 dudes, and I didn't even see a scratch on him. Dude didn't even have a swelled-up eye. No, nothing. And he got beat down in a hate crime? Hell, I didn't even see his hair get bleached by the bleach they have supposedly poured on him. Not even a beard hair out of place got bleached.
I mean, he could have done a better job at faking it, run into a wall or something. I mean, apparently this Mighty Duck ain't so mighty anymore. Did you know he was in Mighty Ducks?
Oh no.
Yeah, he was in 1992.
I'm gonna just ignore that he's tainting one of my childhood movies. But no, like as shit has come out, like ABC started to report on Twitter that the 2 people that had actually assaulted him, quote unquote, were his freaking buddies from the gym. One of them was his personal trainer.
What the fuck?
And like as it came out through this, like I'm gonna go ahead and get Snips to throw a picture up on a video if we happen to make one out of this. But these dudes are jacked. Like, and then you look at Jussie and holy fuck, dog! How the hell do you imagine anyone to believe that those two attacked you, and that you didn't make out with a single whelped up eye?
They said that they were from Magna. Did I say that right?
MAGA country.
That.
Yeah, you know the whole Trump Magna. What the?
I don't look, man. I pay attention to video games, movies, and cartoons. Jussie Smolett sounds like a Saturday morning Scooby-Doo villain. That's about as far as I know. And now that I know he was a duck, I'm gonna go watch the cartoon instead of the movie because I can't do that anymore.
Honestly, I expected better of the Ducks. They deserved better.
They were so inspirational.
But no, like he swears up and down that he fought these two dudes off, and like. Even if there was 15 to 20 of me, I don't know if I could beat them guys in a fucking fight.
No, dude.
They're fucking...
No way.
One of them's a professional bodybuilder and the other one's, goddamn just jacked beyond all get out.
I don't know who said it, but one of them called them Wakandan princes.
Oh, that was Derek Blackman.
That was...
Some black guy. Much love, some black guy.
Bro, that was beautiful. It was a great comment.
But no, like now it's so fucking crazy to have watched this unfold, and like we see, like each day more and more information was getting leaked out, more and more and more. And I mean, like, first off, the thing that was really fucking weird is like you've got an actor on a show that brings in millions of dollars. He flies into Chicago, and his story is that he went to Walgreens at 2 a.m. to get some food. Like, bruh. You don't have a guy for that?
He said he thought Walgreens sold grocery food, stuff that he could make food out of because there was nothing at a hotel. I don't believe that the hotel he was staying at didn't have food in it. Especially if you got that kind of money, they got food.
Well, like, even if he didn't have that kind of money, you're telling me that your manager didn't have someone that he could have been like, hey man, go run grab some snacks, or my guy's coming in. What? But then he's gonna walk to Subway at 2 a.m. in the morning in a blizzard.
What Subway is? Oh, by the way, yeah, sorry. What Subway is open at 2 in the morning?
It's Chicago, man. It's a weird place. Might as well be another country. I mean, they already have Wakandan ambassadors.
I hear whispers, tales of the down under.
But like, no, man, and like he goes on this freaking media tour, telling everybody, believe me, and like every time he tells the story, more and more detail gets added to the point that it's like, you're almost telling me too much, man. Like, just fucking hold on.
What you're saying is it's sounds too good to be true.
Look, like we all know that when you go to lie, everyone when they lie, they add too much information because they want to try and make it sound believable. All right. If you didn't actually go into Walgreens, then why the fuck did you mention it? Like, everything was it was all too fucking much, man. And like, then as all these things are coming and unfolding, and like you've got people fucking constantly calling him out, footage shows up of the two brothers buying the ski mask that they're seen in, the fucking clothesline that they tied the noose of. Oh, the fucking noose is the point that everyone should have just looked at him and said, are you fucking serious? You really gonna try and tell me that we need to believe this? The guy gets assaulted. He gets beat down. He gets bleach poured on him. And then they tie a noose around his neck. And what's the first call he makes? To his fucking manager.
It doesn't make sense.
Not to the police. No, yeah. His manager apparently finally convinced him to go to the police station hours after the assault had taken place. And they go into the police station, and Jussie is still wearing the noose around his neck.
It's a fashion statement.
And the police are like, why are you still wearing that? You can take that off. Well, I didn't want to disturb the physical evidence. What? I'm sorry. I just got beat down and like they tie a noose around my neck, you be damn assured I'm not gonna wear that damn thing around like it's a fucking bolo tie. I'm taking that motherfucker off and tossing it to the winds. Like, I'm not gonna walk around. His manager wasn't unnerved, didn't tell him take that shit off at any point. Like, it's just, all of it, like, just was too fucking crazy to actually believe. I just, fucking mess and a half, my man.
I agree.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, right? Just when you thought, we see that the reason that this was all staged, right, was that because Smolett had received a threatening note on the set of Empire the night a couple of weeks before, and like, now I'm going to quote this letter, and I don't want anyone to think that these are my words, because they're Jussie's words, because according to the brothers, he wrote the letter too. You're gonna die, you black faggot. And it's just like, first off, if someone is filled enough with hate to clip out of a magazine, you'd think they'd come up with something a little more doomsday-y? That's a word? No?
Those are the terminology that we use nowadays, though. So those are the shocking factors that we have.
Was the, like, 3-year-old rendition of a man hanging from a tree necessary, though?
No.
Oh, yes. It was so bad. Like, trust me, I have absolutely zero artistic ability. But even I know if you can't draw a stick figure, you need to just not.
I mean, has he ever played Hangman?
Like,
That's where the letter come from. He was playing Hangman and got the idea because one of his buddies played a bad joke. That's what happened.
So, like, now that all the dust is settled, like, we're looking at, it's February 23rd, and as far as I can tell, he is facing a charge of disorderly conduct, which is a class 4 felony. And they're still going through the grand jury portion of it, where they haven't really indicted him to where they can start a formal trial. But
AJC has an article on it that was updated on Valentine's Day. That stated that he didn't want to give the police his phone, like, because they had private contacts and numbers in it.
Yeah.
Like, the cops have seen worse. Like, no one cares about your private photos. No one cares. If you literally had something wrong with you, you wouldn't care if they seen your chest picture. No one cares. Just.
I think he was probably going at the angle of dick pics. Maybe he's got like one of those professional booty hole selfies that I've heard about from time to time.
Wait, professional booty hole selfies?
Oh yeah, man. It comes with practice.
Practice.
I was more emphasizing the cum part, but I mean, whatever. That's fine.
I mean, they also know that he later did give detectives a heavily redacted phone record.
Which is not what detectives need. Like, they're actually bound by their ethical code, the bylaws of being a police officer, and the law, to not leak any of that information.
I believe the word is confidentiality.
But, like, let's just go ahead and put it out that the cops can't break their own laws without, kind of, if they're the only people you've given the phone records to, and then that thing immediately is leaked, guess what? Just sue Chicago. They've got the money. It's fine. But no, and then what's crazy? The dude posts his freaking bail, and he's back on the show that he was freaking on. And he was getting written off of. That's what a lot of people are speculating as to why he's done all this. Is that he was mad that he was getting written off of his show, and so this was just a big old publicity stunt to get him put back onto the show because he needs the support.
Fuck. Okay, so that's current information, right?
That's current speculation.
Okay, because like what I read a couple days ago was that he was that there's no word yet on whether the scenes that he's in are being cut or if he's being allowed back on set.
He was on set.
Okay.
That is confirmed.
Okay.
Because I have a tweet here from the Amazing Atheist, talking about how we see a whole bunch of things that I don't want to read the whole damn tweet, but he's basically trying to draw the parallels like from what we've seen in the past year of people make offensive tweet, they're fired from their job. People do something that is consensual with another person but isn't deemed as societally correct, fired from their job and shunned from society. Oh, but fake a hate crime to see millions of people exploiting racial tensions for your own personal gain equals here's your paycheck. After E! News reports that Jussie Smollett is back on the hashtag Empire set 2 hours after leaving jail.
Jeez.
But maybe I should go fake a hate crime.
No. See, you are a pink panda. You know what they do to pink pandas in society nowadays?
They
turn them into
white.
coke. Coats.
They turn pandas into cocaine. Apparently, there's an enzyme that turns bamboo into cocaine. But
So
no, if maybe some grizzly bears, some brown bears want to find me, dye me white, or dye me whatever color you want to think, and just tell me that this is Bernie country, and I'll go ahead and I'll fake my hate crime.
No, it's Dick Cheney country.
Look, it hasn't been Dick Cheney country for a minute. That's not a fair. You're out of date. Like, you are expired, Mr. Snowcone. Get the fuck out of here.
Ice doesn't go bad. It can always be refrozen.
Ice actually does go bad. It's called turning to water and not being ice anymore. Your expiration date is not an expiration date. It's an expiration temperature.
So what you're saying is that was a warm take?
You're fired.
Which means I'm hotter.
There's this dude on Twitter who made a post at Think I'm Real, which reads, "Wish I was privileged enough to hire 2 people to assault me. I can't afford that shit."
Dude, I seen this. It was a gift, but it's like how he came up with this plan, and it's just this dude walks out texting on his phone and walks past these 2 guys, and he's like, "What are you doing? Come on, over here." And the guys are like, "Oh yeah." And they just gently put the noose over his neck and pat him on the head and send him on his way,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was great.
But before we leave off on this, I'd like to take a pot shot at good old Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We find that, there are a lot of people that say crazy shit on Twitter, but whenever the things that they say are proven inherently wrong or stupid, they delete the tweet, right? That's kind of like a fucking staple nowadays, because you can't just say something and leave it up there. Someone will just pick it up and make you look like a dumbass. Well, Miss Cortez, here I am making you look like a dumbass. This post was made like January 30th, or I guess, yeah, the post is from January 30th, and there's no such thing as racially charged. This tag was not possibly homophobic. It was a racist, homophobic attack. And if you don't like what is happening to our country, then work to change it. It is no one's job to water down or sugarcoat the rise of hate crimes. And it's like,
What?
Because she's responding to Entertainment Tonight talking about Jussie Smollett was hospitalized after his attack. Last time I checked, Candace Owens deletes her tweets when she's proven wrong. Take the hint.
But I'm sorry. I fail to see how it's hate crime when they're the same color.
Oh, well, see, that was back before... This was before all of the information started becoming mainstreamly available. But I found this tweet, according to my screen capture, 18 days later, on the same days that we were starting to find out that it was not white men that beat him down. Apparently, it's not MAGA country in a city that voted 12% for Donald Trump. Crazy to think. But I just want to take a pot shot at AOC. It's the popular thing to do nowadays. Because
you're trying to be relevant.
What? Ooh. She's a fucking idiot. I wouldn't.
I believe I heard you correctly. You were speaking to the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should probably say it in a way she'd understand. She's a fucking idiot, man. I don't know. It just fucking. You're supposed to be a front-facing public official. Just fucking manage your Twitter appropriately, and if you get caught saying something dumb and wrong, delete the tweet. All right, cool.
Yeah. Well, to round all of that off, I was scrolling and I found something from Mr. Smolett. He says on January 27th, remember, salt, cocaine, and anthrax can all appear to be sugar. I'm clipping that out of all of that he said there because I could care less about the rest of it. But
I think the context is mildly important.
Yeah, the context of that, you need to eat your own words, buddy. In a sense, you're talking about people being wary of fraud, and then you turn around and try to commit fraud.
It's crazy, man.
Good job. You know what? I know what he was doing. He was giving everybody a visible representation of what fraud really looks like.
No, see,
instead of that Walmart
he's really a hero.
Philanthropist, man.
Hey, he paid these dudes $3,500 to beat him up. That's philanthropy if I ever done it.
I mean,
hell, you can pay me $3,500. I'll give you a little cut under your eye like they gave you, man. I got you. Come on, hit me up. Broke Panda Fund.
You know what? I do you one better. People believe it. Pay me $3,500.
There's a twist to the whole Smolett story that was brought to me by none other than James Woods.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy. It's amazing how one of his friends, a Senator Kamala Harris, helped push through an anti-lynching bill this month.
Anti-lynching bill, you said?
Yes, an anti-lynching bill.
I thought this thing was already illegal. Why do we need a bill making it illegal again?
It's not that it's making it illegal again. With the wake of the Jussie Smollett hate crime still fresh in everyone's hearts, we finally gained enough courage as a nation to label lynching as a hate crime. On paper.
Oh, my brain hurts.
I mean,
I have brain freeze.
I mean, God forbid that we acknowledge the fact that if anyone's found guilty of lynching, that it's 25 to life, no parole, or the death penalty, depending on what state you're in. But I guess it's important to call it a hate crime, too.
Because we don't have enough of those already?
Well, it's not that we don't have enough about hate. Trust me, there's a fucking enough. Even the fake ones. We have enough fake hate crimes too. Especially when words and hoodies can be considered acts of violence.
Wait. I'm legitimately curious. Hoodies can be an act of violence?
There was a video put up by a Mr. James Alsop. Very, very interesting video where a girl on Facebook got offended to the point of being physically shaken and weak and losing her appetite while she ate her meal because a gentleman walked in wearing a Confederate hoodie. It was a hoodie with the print of the Confederate flag.
But it's a hoodie.
It's an act of violence. According to the young lady and according to the liberal concept that hate speech is now an act of violence. Anything that can make me feel bad and hurt on the inside, even though it doesn't hurt my outsides, it's an act of violence that needs to be punished.
The phrase is sticks and stones will hurt your bones.
And words will emotionally scar me and never let me Everyone knows the fucking Fairly Odd Parents reference. I don't need to repeat it.
Like, what in the actual fuck? Alright, guys, look, that's the end of the podcast. I hate to say it, I'm sorry. If we talk anymore, we're just going to hurt you. So enjoy 5 minutes of silence.
Well, if you don't, if you don't talk, I'm going to hurt you. I will throw your snow cone ass down. And now Frosty's dead. Yay! I guess I'll go ahead and make a second one. Hi, Frosty 2. Hi, Panda! Maybe you'll be more agreeable than the previous one.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's gonna kind of be our check-in with pop culture and the news from my sector.
Smolett is a Lowlet.
Smolett is a what?
You know, a Lolita. I was playing on the Lowlet.
I believe we would go with Manlet. That would be a good one because he is a tiny man. But be careful. Apparently, he can fight off 2 Wakandan soldiers. So I wouldn't piss him off too much.
I am now scared of the Black Panther.
So what do you want to bring to the table today?
Well, you know what? I want to lighten the mood, and since we went
That's
down,
not what we do here.
You don't get off my squishy foot. So earlier this month, I'm sure everybody knows because Fortnite is the next best thing since sliced bread, apparently. For those of you who don't know, Marshmello, the EDM dude that wears all white,
EDM dude
with the face on the mask.
I think it's pretty safe to say that, you know, the guy who wears a marshmallow helmet is pretty well known when he was like the top of the pop charts in our country for like, I don't know, 3 months.
Look, Big P, I'm gonna be honest with you for a second.
I'm gonna have to ask you to never call me that ever again.
Okay, Little P.
Oh my fucking god.
So here's the thing.
Get on with whatever the fuck
I
you're talking
didn't
about.
know who Daft Punk was for a while.
Snips, just get rid of him ever admitting that he didn't know what I'm deleting it from my brain as I tell you to delete it from this audio file.
Okay, so anyway, Marshmello hosted the first ever virtual concert in Fortnite. Like, the entire runtime of the concert, all the weapons were disabled, and there was this humongous stage constructed mid-game. His character comes out, the show starts, of course he wrote all the music, but like, put it in, and like, it's just this festival of like people dressed in thousands and thousands of different Fortnite costumes, bouncing around, and everybody was allowed to go. Like, if you were in game, you could go. Like, you could be there.
I would imagine it was limited to the servers. Like, I mean, there wasn't no 1,000 people on that stage. It was probably the 100 that may have dropped into that game.
Fair.
I'll give you that.
Well, okay, fair point. But like, combining that with the Twitch viewership and like that's a free concert basically that was done completely within a virtual space. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say you get some awesome points there, buddy.
I mean, it's nifty. I'll give it to you. I appreciate that someone finally hosted a live musical concert in a video game. That's pretty legit. I'm not gonna lie. Woo.
Well, I get that it's not this huge, exciting extravaganza, but like for the type of music it is and the game that it's in, that's really, really neat because like the guns were disabled. I don't know if it actually happened or not, but like if guns were disabled, cool. But I'm pretty sure the building mechanic wasn't disabled. So like I think it's kind of neat that all of these, even if it was just 100 players, had the ability to sit there and goof off and enjoy themselves with.
I'm gonna be honest
Malo.
with you. I'm in the middle of a game, and like all of a sudden, I can't shoot anybody anymore. Like, you're interrupting my gameplay. Like, cool. I'm glad your music's here. I'm glad you're doing this. But like, they should have told people before they joined the game, hey, this game's gonna be different. If you don't want to be around and socialize with people, don't join this game.
Okay, fair point.
Just
but
give a
it's better than
motherfucker a
Ninja.
heads up.
Hey, it's better than Ninja standing in Times Square trying to get everybody to floss.
Yes, we all, anyone who's on the internet knows about that goddamn catastrophe.
or the fact that he was trying to live stream in public, trying to get people to interact with him live streaming in public. So, for all intents and purposes, Mr. Malo pulled something really neat.
I'm with you. I still give him respect.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of sparkle on the shit pile that we have to talk about today, tomorrow, and forever.
So, anything else going on in the world before I talk about YouTube ad nauseum again?
Well, see, I mean, GameStop tried to sell itself earlier this month again.
I give them about $3.50.
Damn you, lot down. But you know, it's really funny. They couldn't trade themselves in.
What'd they try and sell themselves for?
They never settled on a number. There wasn't a number posted. They didn't agree on anything. They figured that whatever was offered, because I haven't heard a set number, wasn't adequate enough for them to do anything. So they're in talks of restructuring and making it more of a store. I mean, the one next to where we are is almost that already. They're trying to bring the Think Geek thing in more so that there's more reason to come to GameStop, because currently with digital downloads, not a lot of people's going to GameStop. People's either downloading it or getting it off of Amazon or going to Best Buy over GameStop now, because Best Buy is offering better deals. If you've got a student's Best Buy account now, you get special coupons and games for games and other technology for students from Best Buy, which is better than the discount that you get at GameStop. Walmart has a discount plan now that is almost better than GameStop's. The only thing that GameStop offers now is a guaranteed used copy that is guaranteed to be refurbished, whereas you're getting discounts on brand new games that may knock $5 off. That's about it.
Hey, GameStop offers an integral part of the gaming industry. It is an experience all gamers should experience at every point of their lifetime. There's no greater feeling than spending hundreds, if not $1,000 on building a collection, taking it into GameStop and being offered 50 cents. There's nothing more quintessential to the gamer experience than being ripped off by GameStop. And if that doesn't get saved, well, then I fear for the future generation. They need to know. They need to know.
Okay, fine then. Well, GameStop stays then.
I have declared it.
The panda has spoken. I know this isn't a February topic, but it happened on the 31st, and it's been something that has been in contingent since last year. We all know that loot boxes are a problem, but on the 31st of January, Belgium beat EA in court, and EA had to remove loot boxes from FIFA and other games in Belgium. That it was proven that gambling equals loot box. Loot box equals gambling. Sorry. They had until I think it was like February 4th or 5th to use the currency they had. That if anybody bought any in the store, But after that, it goes away. I mean, this increases. Nothing else changed though. So like the grind to get anything in that game is like astronomical. But no more loot boxes. Yeah, that's a good thing, at least in my opinion. If you want more information on that, Jim Sterling has a great expose on the court dealings and legal jargon that goes into that. But I just thought it was really neat that EA finally got something handed to them that wasn't a company that makes great games that they feel like they can run another round. Or you want to go down the doom and gloom path again? I have more EA stuff.
I've got some decent little tidbits over the past month off of Twitter that I've found. Apparently, Black Panther won an award for Best Special Visual Effects. And the public came out with an astounding, unanimous,
Yeah, it looked like PS2 graphics.
Oh no. It made the Blade trilogy look realistic and in 4K. Let's be realistic here.
I mean, well, okay, hang on. Now, if we look at the movie as a whole, the scenes that involve just Black Panther with him on the hood of the car and getting hit by bullets and bouncing around, that looked really good. But that last bit, the climax of the movie, was just straight garbage. Oh, yeah. It is straight garbage.
They ran out of money. They spent all the Black Panther money on Civil War. In other news, Minnesota women's powerlifting state champion JC set a new state record in the women's bench press and best overall lifting.
Well, good for her.
Problem is that she was born a male.
Oh, well, I guess him. Well, then she cannot be a part of the Pussy Church.
I think them is probably the best.
They cannot be a part of the Pussy Church.
Schlee is definitely catching some flack. I mean,
what's happened to Schlim?
Let's just. I don't care what people want to do to their bodies. I don't care if you feel as though you're a man trapped in a woman's body, a dog trapped in a bird's body, or a table. I honestly don't care. I think you should be able to live your best life and leave me the fuck alone with it. But when you start putting people's entire, career, because they're the people that Mr. JC decided to compete against, they trained fucking hard for that. But because of some balances and leftover testosterone, this person has an unfair advantage.
Yeah, look, I never thought I'd see the day where somebody wanted to be an actual live bender.
Well, I mean, Joe Rogan made a comment about this back on his podcast a while back. Fallon Fox busted the skull of their opponent with a fucking knee.
Oh my god, dude, that could kill somebody. That is.
Yeah, it almost fucking did. They were hospitalized. They had to be taken from the ring to the hospital. But Joe Rogan made the comment, right? Because Joe Rogan has a lot of experience commenting on MMA, and he had a lot of back and forth with Dana White in those days. He knew that you can't tell me that a 30-year-old... I'm gonna go ahead and direct quote. You can't take a 30-year-old man who's been on female hormones for 2 years of his life is the same as a woman who has been a woman all of her life. That there are biological differences. We have scientific evidence over decades, centuries, millennia that prove there is a biological, muscular difference between men and women. And just because you had a snip and some tits implanted does not mean you were on equal footing.
No.
Now, if you want to go ahead and pull a Tom Hanks and do a League of Their Own, then by all fucking means, I'd love to watch a training fight. I'd pay extra. But you're going to sit there and tell me that they're the exact same and that makes it totally fair for everyone else involved? No. Because it's literally the episode of Futurama where fucking Bender decided to cross-dress to be better at fucking the sport that he couldn't compete in.
Yeah.
It's fucking sickening that people can do this kind of shit.
I agree. You know, you go and do you, but like when you're putting people lives at risk, like no, that's wrong. You need to be talked to horribly.
Let's go on back to my
my turn.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Throw some bullshit.
So, if you want bullshit, I got bullshit. Let's talk about Brie Larson.
I think we're in the lightning round of just little shit that doesn't make a full conversation. You know,
all right.
We're on intermission. People are probably zoning out at this point, taking a piss.
I like Spider-Man. Do you like Spider-Man? I like Marvel. You like Marvel? Cool. Let's talk about Marvel. So Brie Larson, who is playing Captain Marvel, coming out next month, March 14th. 14th? Find out what day that is.
One of them days.
Put it on the screen. Has said that she wants fewer white men covering her press tour. She even went out of her way to choose a disabled woman to interview her for her tour. Like, okay, I'm all for superheroes. I'm all for people having inclusions and relatability, but I'm sorry, you can't be relatable to somebody that doesn't have a flaw. And God bless, like I don't get it. Like, and she also like started a GoFundMe for just girls to be able to get tickets for them and their caretaker to go and see the movie, which, mind you, will cover the ticket, popcorn, and a drink. So that's like easy, what, $35-$40
Yeah,
a person. Like that is ridiculous, man. And like I really want to be the guy that says, all right, look, it's another superhero. It gives us a reason to have more stories that we can all enjoy together as a group. But like, what the fuck, Brie? You you're an idiot. I'm not even gonna give you the title of odd. You were stupid.
You just a dumb bitch.
You dang right. You got one.
I don't get me wrong. I'm a big advocate for separating art from the artist, but like, unfortunately, that's not how the majority of the world chooses to view people and the things that they create. And if you're gonna be I guess the appropriate term is a thunder cunt about every person that you don't agree with or that you think isn't giving you a fair chance. Like, guess what? This is the internet. We're gonna hate on you regardless. Even if you don't give us a reason, guess what? Someone's going to find that one frame where you gave the finger to some person, and guess what? We're gonna still call you out for it. Yeah. So you might as well be open about it, because at least then you give us a multitude and we might miss the real egregious shit.
Well, okay, not to sound pretentious or anything, but when comics come out, comics were for kids to have something. You know, and then the demographic that picked it up, used to be white dudes. It used to all be centered to white dudes, because, or dudes in general. I apologize for just using white, but it just dudes, because that's who bought it, and that was the demographic. So of course these characters were wrote as damsels. However, we have characters like Wonder Woman and Black Cat. And that, yes, were drawn in a sexualized manner because that's what enticed the dudes to buy it. But then also were strong individuals, like inherently strong. They didn't need a guy to protect them. They had everything worked out on their own, and they didn't have to have some outside figure pandering this women power nonsense that is overly romanticized to the point of nausea. Like I'm all for everybody, whether you're gay, trans, straight, whatever, male, female, being on the same playing field. That's great, good on you. But like when you are deliberately segregating a gender to enjoy something over another just because you have a problem with a niche group of individuals, there's a problem.
Well, let's go ahead and break that down. I know this is the lightning round and I'm getting caught in the weeds, but fuck it. Why the hell not? Comic books being catered towards men was manufacturers of these books catering to the audience, right? Their demographic. What she's doing is literally the opposite, because she is now rejecting part of the audience in order to cater people that are going to praise her. That's not a good fucking look. It really isn't. And since we're on we're on the trip of women doing questionable things, CBS News reported on the 5th of February that there was a group of girls that made history by becoming the first all-girl troop to join the Boy Scouts of America.
Wait a minute.
Remember, there are no boy Girl Scouts, but there are girl Boy Scouts.
But I thought that's what the Cub Scouts were for.
Don't worry about it. It's all about it's all about corporate synergy. The comment I made on this tweet was these corporate cookie pushers are planning a takeover, and it's absolute ridiculous, man. Like, I remember talking about this with some people, and it's like, the Girl Scouts have it pretty fucking good, dog. Like, I remember hearing about Girl Scouts going to Disney World, and like they get to sell the fucking cookies that everybody fiends over, and you know.
Oh yeah, them snickerdoodles, man. Give me them snickerdoodles.
What do Boy Scouts sell? Fucking stale ass popcorn. Like, there's not even a comparison to that market. All right.
No, but the one caveat is once you become an Eagle Scout, like, an Eagle Scout gets more clout than a oh god,
they call them ambassadors, I think is what the official term is. I just think it's crazy that we can sit here and talk about how it's an all girl troop of Boy Scouts. I think it's absolutely fucking insane that headline exists. Just not even because it's like, how dare women become popular and do things that break the history. Listen to the name of the group, Boy Scouts. Like, if I sat here and said, you know what, I'm gonna create a coalition, all right, and this coalition is of people who wear striped shirts. You're not allowed to wear anything else to my fucking group but striped shirts. And all of a sudden, a whole group walks in wearing polka dots. The goddamn gall of wearing polka dots in my motherfucking group. I established this group because stripes are the superior goddamn style on a shirt. You don't sit here and come into my group and break my motherfucking rules just because, well, our polka dot shirt group doesn't offer us the right amount of benefits. Well, then don't spend your time in that group. Do something else.
Do some legwork and get some more sponsorship, and maybe polka dots will be better paid attention to.
It blows my mind that everybody loves that fucking Ben Shapiro bit where like, fucking, you have to be a boy to be in the Boy Scouts. Well, where does it say that? In the name, Boy Scouts. Everyone loves that fucking clip, but it's no longer relevant. It's just the fall of a titan.
Oh, if we're gonna talk about falls of titans, I would like to talk about the good old Bob Chipman for a minute here. Good old movie Bob, the Bobinator.
I would like to go ahead and preface this with that. Me and Frosty used to be really big fans. Like,
yeah,
back when Bob was working with The Escapist and The Big Picture. The Big Picture was such an amazing fucking series.
Oh yeah, I never missed an episode, man. It was
I sat there when I found it. I binged like 60 fucking episodes in a matter of a week.
Because comics are weird.
But okay, please break my nostalgia. What the hell has Bob done past the egregious nature of how he acted during Gamergate?
Oh, well, I'll let you talk about that for a second, because I don't know about that one. I've got a tweet I've got to find. You just give me one moment.
Like, I don't want to go into way too much detail because, like, no one cares about Gamergate anymore, you know? But, like, Bob turned on what essentially were his people, gamers. You know, he's a self-proclaimed gamer. His own channel has an overly gone series that's gone on for way too long, that's completely incoherent, but it's all about how video games can analog into like real life situations and shit. And like he threw all of his critical thinking away to side with the women who need to be listened to and believed. And it's just, where did all of it go, Bob? Where did your critical thinking fucking go when you totally decided to say, you know what, this isn't about how games journalism is totally rigging itself and everyone's turning against their own community. Nah, it's all about misogyny.
Well, see, since you mentioned the woman, what got me was I was scrolling through Twitter a couple of days ago, and I noticed that good old Chippy Boy had retweeted something from an account by the name of Celia. This tweet read that the men, mostly white, who commit mass murders are radicalized by toxic masculinity. There's a lot in that tweet. Like, a lot in that tweet. And I'm not going to go into toxic masculinity and how that whole crap works, because there's plenty of smarter people out there that you can listen to for that. But my focus is on, like Panda said, a man that I had the biggest respect for, because the way that he talked about games and about comics and about movies were understandable. He even called out, where did the good writing go? Where did the intellectualism go in these products? Especially the Wrestler was one of my favorite episodes, where he breaks down how the movie, while a good idea, was garbage, because it's just a pandering to what was once was, and not a movie about wrestling and how good it is as far as an entertainment platform. Like, just all of that in a nutshell was great. And I have to look at him with his name being Bob Chipman, hashtag rehire James Gunn, which is, how did I say it the other day, Panda?
Cognitive dissonance.
Just
because you're willing to look past what people say in order to protect their jobs and their livelihoods, but unless it's toxic masculinity, where, grr, I'm a mer. You know, Bob, I get it. I'm an overweight person myself, and I get that this like bravado and machismo can be quite irritating from time to time. When Frosty flexes his stickly little arms, I do want to just tell him quit that shit, because it is annoying. But guess what? That's how Frosty expresses himself. If we were to go and say your idiotic pandering rhetoric that you decide to push towards people so that you get brownie points from the women who decide to go ahead and spout this anti-male rhetoric, then would that be okay? Or I assume if you hear this, you're probably just going to respond and call me an idiot.
You think he ever forgets that he's male too?
Hey man, us overweight people, we got better titties than most.
You know what, Pat? I can't say you're wrong. I can't say you're wrong.
Well, all right, oddlings. Unfortunately, it's time to move on. Not like to another project or to more time with our families, because we lost them in the war.
It's cold knock down here under the bridge.
Shut the fuck. But no, we're gonna sign off for this one. We're currently trying to figure out a structure for our content to get it out to you guys. I can word still. Don't listen to snip the throaty bit or whatever. We were trying to restructure our content to where we can get more reliable output. Any input would be wonderfully appreciated. Be sure to find someone who you don't like, tie them to a chair, and make them listen to our podcast so that they can slowly go insane like we are. Till next time, you can find me at Oddling Panda on Twitter.
And you can find me at Oddling Frosty on the Twitter.
We hope to see you guys next month, and until then, stay odd.